Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. It is Saturday. The market is closed today. But I wanted to do this video because there's a lot going on my mind. It's 5:28 a.m. and I can't sleep. I can't sleep because it's not because I'm worried. It's because I'm excited. And I've been called delusional recently by someone that commented on my video when it came to NIO. And this video is going to help debunk why you need to hold with diamond hands when you believe in a company, and when you see what they're doing, you don't focus on the share price. You focus on what the company is doing, because eventually the share price will catch up. So let's talk about that. And let me just say this, guys. A lot of people say, Mitch, I wish my average on NIO was like yours at $3.53 a share. But when a company that they believe in dips, they still don't buy the dip. And that's how my average came down that low. But anyway, guys, NIO is currently trading at $10.04. It was almost flat yesterday. It was down it went down and it recovered a little bit. The 52-week high is $22.74 and the low is $7. So let's first talk about the Apple phone ban by the Chinese government and how will it affect NIO. So there's more than one ways of looking at this, right? As the trade war continues to ramp up, as we here, our government here in America, continue to ban certain companies from China. And I have my own take on that. I think that instead of banning companies, you should try to innovate faster than them, because competition helps innovation. Anyway, so they've banned Apple from governmental buildings in China, governmental workers. They can't use their Apple phone while they're on the job. And this is probably just the beginning. As we continue to ramp up the trade war, they will probably also. I was hoping that Raimundo's recent visit to China would change that, would be the beginning of a change, and possibly it will be. Let's see how it irons out. But this trade war is hurting both countries and even the world. That's how big both economies are right now, both the Chinese and the American economy. So what will happen with NIO? In the short term, I see this as actually helping NIO. Why do I see it helping NIO? Is because, remember, the Chinese government heavily supports NIO, and not just NIO, their industry, their companies, just like we support our companies, right? We've bailed out our companies multiple times. So even during the Obama administration, we bailed out a lot of companies. So NIO has gotten $1 billion plus from the Chinese government thus far. That one of the times when NIO spiked to $60 a share, over $60 a share, that was around the time when the government put in $1 billion, Tencent put in $1 billion, I think it was Alibaba put in $1 billion, and it made a big spike. So obviously NIO is being supported by the government in China. They see the business model and they like it. They see the battery swap stations and they like it, right? I spoke about that range anxiety, etc., etc. But not to get off topic here. Now, what will replace the Apple phones? So you guys see where I'm going with this, right? So the NIO phones, recently, I forgot if it was on Schwab network, one of those networks, they had some guy on there and they were interviewing him, and he said he see no benefit of NIO coming out with a phone. See, these guys have no vision, or sometimes it's just propaganda to help keep beating down NIO. Now, I could see NIO phones, or maybe even Huawei phones, replacing Apple phones for governmental workers, and that's just the first step, right? With Apple, if it's a bigger ban and Apple have to actually leave the Chinese market altogether, then you see where we will benefit greatly with Neo phones, with Huawei phones, etc., etc. However, if the trade war does not stop, if this nonsense between both countries does not stop, it will hurt the entire economy. It will hurt industries from both America and China because, like I said, if we don't allow these superior EVs from China coming over to America, if we don't allow that competition, there's no room for innovation, right? There's no room for Tesla or other EV manufacturers to have to keep innovating to compete. So I'm really hoping that this nonsense irons out. However, I do see this as benefiting Neo directly with the Neo phones. Having said that, I wanted to give you guys an example of how I've made significant money recently by having diamond hands. I think it was about a year ago, I spoke about a company called Miniso. And it's a dollar store that sell quality products. I went in depth into talking about this company. It's called Miniso. It sounds Japanese, but it's a Chinese dollar store. And they are in multiple countries, including America, but they only go into high-end neighborhoods like Cherry Hill, King of Prussia, etc., etc. And during the pandemic, they were down a lot, right? Rightfully so, like most companies. And people were panicking because it took China longer to come out of COVID. But I recognized that this company was not only in China, but in America and other countries as well. And the rhetoric was that this is a company you should fear, you should not buy into them. China hasn't opened up yet, but people weren't doing their research and realizing that this company was also in America. So I bought in around $5.47, and I bought some shares, and it didn't go down after I bought it. It kept going up, so I didn't buy anymore. And because that's a rule that I have. I don't like buying when a stock go up after I buy it. Very rare do I do that. I did do it with Neo because I ended up making money on Alibaba and Baidu, and I ended up selling it and just to buy more Neo on a different platform, on the SoFi platform. But anyway, so I told people about Miniso to keep an eye on it. As usual, I didn't tell people to buy. I told them, hey, keep an eye on it. I'm buying, do your own due diligence. Well, I sold my shares, most of it recently at $27 a share, just a couple of days ago. I'm not saying that you guys should sell if you hold it because they do pay a dividend. I do believe it will keep running. So I didn't sell all of my shares, but I think it would be a fool not to take some profits because I was over 300%. So I took some profits, but I'm just giving you guys an example of why you should have diamond hands and how you're going to make significant money when you just cancel out the gray noise and the idiots on the background. They wait for the company to spike and to become a monster corporation, like they're buying Tesla now at $200 a share when they should have been buying it at $15 a share, right? So these idiots, they never become wealthy, they never become rich, they never grow their wealth because they listen to guys like Jim Cramer, the propagandists who will tell you to buy high and sell low. I try to tell you guys to do the total opposite. And now I'm going to give you another example yet again of a company that I'm holding with diamond hands. And this company, again, during the pandemic, they tanked, but they're not only in China. They are in Africa. I spoke about them in depth as well. It's Didi Global. And I still think it's a good time to buy. Do your own due diligence and research, guy. This company is the equivalent of Uber in China. They are in Africa. They are in Mexico. They are in South America. They're in many countries. I think they're also in Europe. And the company tanked a lot from when they IPO'd. People bought them at the high end. I started buying them at the low end, right? My average is, I think, $5 something. I got to double check. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information, but my average isn't that high. Right now it's trading around $3 something. But check this out. I spoke about them in the first quarter of this year. I spoke about them again. And in the first quarter, revenues were 42.7 billion, an increase of 19.1% from the first quarter of 2022. And that's not surprising because I spoke about that as China came out of COVID lockdowns, more people are traveling again, right? They're going to work, etc., going on vacations. And I expected the revenues to pick up and to continue to pick up. So guess what happened, guys? News came out yesterday. I signed up for their website, so I get information on them. Total revenue for the second quarter, which was just reported yesterday, were 48.8 billion. So remember, it was 42.7 billion in the first quarter. It went up to 48.8 billion in the second quarter, which is an increase of 52.6% compared to the second quarter of last year. And I'm not surprised at all. Net loss was 5 million, but analysts projected them to lose 10 million. So they beat analysts' expectations. And I truly believe that that's going to continue to happen because, like I said, they are in Africa, they are in South America, they are in Europe. And I expect them to keep growing. They do a lot of stuff. They don't just have like Uber type drivers. They have, you could rent a chauffeur in China and the chauffeur will park his car and drive these high-end clienteles out with their Rolls Royce or whatever they have. They rent pickup trucks. They rent, bicycles like those EV charging bicycles, etc. They do a lot. They do food delivery. So I really think that you guys should keep your eye on them. While other people are crapping their pants, that's when I jump in and buy. And case in point, one guy commented on my last video saying, why would you buy ChargePoint? Your charging experience is horrible. What this clown don't understand is that the EV industry is brand new and ChargePoint is the largest charging network in Europe. They're also here in America, and I explained that. We are in desperate need to build out our charging stations to try to keep up with what China is doing. China is ahead of the game. And ChargePoint is going to capitalize on a large market share for that. We should not just concentrate on the EVs, but we should also concentrate on what complements the EVs. That's why NIO is so powerful, right? They're building out their charging stations in China. They're building out their battery swap stations, which will be a game changer. They're working on their own battery. They're working on their own chips. Should I end the video here? I'm just kidding, guys. But people don't understand the behemoth that NIO is getting ready to become. So they only focus on the share price and they shit their pants. They focus on the share price, which is not a true valuation of the company. NIO, if it was an American company, would already be $300 plus a share, maybe $500. Easy. Think about it, guys, of what they're doing, the business model, how incredible this company is. But anyway, I hope you guys found this video informational. I really think that you guys should pay attention to Didi, pay attention to ChargePoint. And I love buying the dip and I love riding the wave back up. Now, I only buy if I believe in the company. So if ChargePoint were to dip some more, yes, I will be adding. I hope you guys found this video informational. If you do, guys, please give it a thumbs up. It'll help encourage me to keep doing videos like I'm doing this one Saturday morning. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we're going to get rich or die trying.